body. There's also called astracia. 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 What is happening? Let's go. You have 2 million egg or oocytes in your body before birth. And these 2 million egg will start dying. After they have been produced, immediately they are giving birth to you, it will stop producing. So you now have 2 million egg. And this 2 million egg is now arrested in prophase I. This is cell division. Just note that the oocyte is arrested in prophase I. And what is happening? These cells start dying by a process known as what? Astracia. So they ask, what is astracia? Astracia is when the egg of the female start dying, the oocyte start dying with time. So this 2 million egg will reduce to 400,000 egg. The 2 million egg will be destroyed by a process known as astracia to 400,000 egg. And in this 400,000 egg, during puberty, which is around 12 years, what happens? It is now free from the prophase. So during immediately you enter your puberty, it will now move from primary oocyte to your secondary oocyte. So when we move from our primary oocyte to secondary oocyte, first something have already occurred. So in the process by which you convert oogonium to primary oocyte, what is happening? There's what we call polar body. Our first polar body is formed. So this is our first polar body. Our first polar body is formed. This is our first polar body. They are smaller. So why are we forming this polar body? So what's the difference between primary oocytes and a polar body? So oogonium undergo mitotic cell division to form primary oocytes and a polar body. So a polar body is a cell that do not have much cytoplasms. Their cytoplasm is so small. So the main reason why your body is forming this polar body is in order to convert this diploid cell to haploid cell. Remember, the main reason why you're forming this polar body now to convert this diploid cell to haploid cell. Remember, diploid cell have 46 chromosomes, and this 46 chromosome cannot join together with the sperm. So what will happen is this 46 chromosome will be reduced to primary oocytes and a polar body, and this polar body now contains the 23 chromosome, and the primary oocyte now contains the 23 chromosome, making it balanced. And when it now contains this 23 chromosome, what will now happen? It will now undergo meiotic cell division. It will now undergo meiotic cell division to form our second polar body. And in this polar body, don't confuse this. So this is actually the exam question. Let me recap. Don't confuse this. This primary oocyte will undergo our first meiotic division, and this meiotic division is immediately you reach your puberty, which is around 12 years old or 11 to 13 years old, depending on the kind of woman you are. So what is happening? This primary oocyte is now converted to secondary oocyte, and during this process we form our first polar body and our secondary oocyte. And when we form our first polar body and our secondary oocyte, our first polar body has cytoplasms, little amount of cytoplasms, which is not sufficient to feed the polar body. So our main reason why we are converting this to polar body and a secondary oocyte is because we want to reduce the chromosome from 46 to 23 chromosome, and as we reduce this, they can now fuse with the sperm to form 46 chromosome. And as we reduce this, we now form our secondary oocyte. Our secondary oocyte will now be seized or arrested in the metaphase. And as it's arrested in the metaphase, what is now happening? During the introduction of sperm, when sperm is now in your body, it will now complete the meiotic cell division. So what I'm trying to say is, in males, their spermiogenesis or their spermatogenesis is complete, but in females, their oogenesis is never complete. So as you keep on seeing your ovulation every year, every month by month, meaning that you have not allowed, since they have given birth to you, you have not allowed any egg to complete oogenesis, to complete this oogenesis. So you have not allowed anyone. So at least just try to allow one this month. It will be complete. So what I'm just trying to say is, your oogenesis is only complete whenever there is introduction of sperm. And what is happening in conversion of secondary oocyte to our ovum, that is where ovulation that takes place. So in secondary oocyte to our ovum, the process is not complete. So the only thing that will complete this process is whenever sperm is introduced. So ovulation will just occur, and ovulation is when oocyte is transferred from the ovary to the fallopian tube. That is ovulation. And when sperm does not come within 24 hours, the oocyte will die off. So ovulation, and during ovulation, what happens? During ovulation, there is a small shock. If you calm down, just calm down. Use this week and observe yourself. Use you, or during your ovulation period or during your menstruation period, just calm down and calculate yourself. During the process by which you are transferring the oocytes from the ovary to the fallopian tube, you will feel this shock. You feel the shock. The shock is there. If you calm down and experience it, you will feel the shock. The shock is there. Just calm down. Okay, let's go there. From there, we now form our ovum. You only form a fertilized ovum. We call it a fertilized ovum. We now form our second polar body. A fertilized ovum is whenever there is sperm. So if you want one of your egg, if you want to pity your egg and miss it for the egg, you can allow sperm this month. There is nothing much. Just allow sperm this month, you see a fertilized egg. If you don't allow egg, you are actually killing thousands of egg. Every month your follicle stimulating hormone come and pick 15 oocytes. And what is happening? They will start forming these oocytes and start maturing these oocytes. So the one that mature enough will now be transferred from the ovary to the fallopian tube. That is what's called ovulation. So when you don't allow sperm to enter through you, you are killing your cells that your body is producing. So